Indie Adam here. I'm with
Eric Nicotera.
We were talking before about this being your first interview podcast thing. I'm very interested to be able to have that privilege to do this with you and to kind of get to know you more.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's really an honor.
You've done a lot of different performances. I know you're kind of like up and coming, and you really are. You have a talent, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And you remind me a lot about my kid brother.
Really?
Yeah. You have a lot of your resemblance really reminds me of him, and it's a plus. Don't worry. But every time I see you, I'm always like, oh hey, But
yeah.
But
it's like that brotherly love kind of thing is already there.
Yeah. What got you into this art?
Man, I mean, I've always loved like movies. I grew up watching movies. Like I grew up like admiring them. Like originally, I wanted to be a director. Like this started back in like 6th or 7th grade, like middle school. I had this English teacher, and he was a huge film buff, and I kind of admired like his love for the arts and his love for film. So I kind of took after him a little bit. His name was Mr. McPhail, and I did not fail his class.
You know what's interesting is that's the same similarity that I had. I had a teacher that kind of inspired me throughout, and that's very important. Teachers are very important, and to hear that somebody else has had a similar experience like that is very unique, sir.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about this. Did he ever come out and support anything that you did, or?
I actually haven't talked or seen like him since like high school, middle school, but he kind of got the ball rolling for me, and then I just started to get more into movies, and then I don't know, I was always like a sports guy in high school. Like I was a football, a rugby player, and I didn't do theater at all in high school, which I really wish I did, because I always loved theater. I loved musicals. But I really just started acting back in 2022, I want to say, like fall, December, like winter 2022-ish, and then I got my first like movie roles in around springtime of 2023. So yeah, it's definitely been a passion of mine, and I'm really excited to be continuing that forward in my career.
I knew the moment we like met that you had something. And I'm curious to know what drives you. Is there something that like really inspires you or drives you to want to, create?
Just my love for the art. Like that's it. Like I've always loved movies, and I've always like loved acting. I've loved actors. I love performing. Yeah. So yeah, just my love for the art and just the chance to just do what I want to do in life really inspires me and drives me.
What type of like genre do you like playing, or would you like to play if you haven't played it yet?
I really like comedy. Comedy is just like something that I could just be free in. I mean, obviously drama, because like as an actor, you want to perform that like drama, and like you want to get that actor's itch, to perform the drama. But comedy is like really freeing to me. I could just have fun and be goofy. Like I love comedy. I love drama. I've always wanted to be like in like a cop show or like a cop, like a crime drama kind of thing. I think that's
as a detective or as a cop. Like what do you think?
Either one, to be honest with you. I would play detective or cop. Or criminal too. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
I can see it. I can see all three of them, all different perceptions of it all.
Yeah.
I can see you being like the next big like buff, because you work out too, right?
I do.
Yeah. That's unique about that is that gives you a different selling point as well.
Yeah.
Because you keeping yourself fit. You're keeping yourself in shape.
The thing about like working out in the gym is that like I used to always have a why when it comes to training. Like before I played sports, like I wanted to get fit and big for football and rugby. Now I'm trying more so to just like look leaner on camera, but still maintain that like muscle mass, because I just want to look better on camera. And honestly, as I get older, just be healthier,
You have really given some emotional performances. Some of them I would say the ones that I've seen. I haven't seen all of them, of course.
Yeah.
But the ones that I've seen are very grounded. There's I'm not sure how I want to say it. There's a realism to how you're portraying your characters. And I know you said you're so like greenhorn to all this, like new.
Yeah, I'm pretty new, like only like 3-4 years into this now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. But I see such like vast talent with what you can do with.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to his media collection, by the way, because he has so many Blu-rays and DVDs, and I really, really appreciate that.
Yeah,
support physical media, by the way.
Yeah, you're a physical media fan.
I do. I love physical media.
Yeah. You know what I love about physical media, which is why I think probably people love physical media,
Yeah.
is you can't change it.
Oh, it's timeless. Like on Netflix or Hulu or whatever, like you could have your favorite movie or show on there one week and then they'll take it off the next week. Sorry, we're not doing that anymore. Like Breaking Bad, they're taking that off Netflix.
Yeah.
You know? That's why I bought like every season of that one, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just use Star Wars for an example. I hate to use Star Wars because it's so exhausted, I think.
Yeah.
But Star Wars has had so many different cuts of the original 3 from the 70s.
Yeah.
And over the years, they stopped releasing the ones that didn't have certain, versions in it or whatever.
Like the Lucas cuts and everything.
Yeah.
Like he did like a director's cut of
Yeah.
it. Yeah, like I think the first one, like Hans like didn't shoot Greedo first. What was that? Was that the big change to it?
Well, there was just more CGI added to a lot of the scenes, and it's not that the film couldn't use it. It's just the CGI was not there yet, even with what they updated it to. And I think a lot of people got mad because they got rid of like all the originality of how they created that first film.
Yeah.
By putting so much of that new stuff in. But let me ask you this. We're just gonna switch it up a little bit.
All right.
All right. Are you a comic book fan, and maybe not comic books reader, but like movie fan?
Oh yeah, I love superheroes. I love the superhero genre.
You do.
Yeah.
Now, do you follow the DC brand?
I follow both, to be honest with you.
You
Like,
do.
I just love like comic book movies in general. I'm
Now-
not like one or the other, you know.
I gotta ask this because I've asked a lot of my friends that are artists, of course, number one, because you're in the business, and number two, kind of see what's going on in the world with media. Are you a Zack Snyder fan or a James Gunn fan?
Oh man.
Did you think I was going to hit you with this?
No, I wasn't expecting this one. There's certain aspects to both guys that I really, really admire. I really admire Zack Snyder's visual flair, and I love some of his movies. Like 300 is my favorite movie.
It's a very good movie, yeah.
Watchmen's really, really good too.
Yeah.
And
It's a little slow.
A little slow. Yeah. I even love the Justice League, like his cut of that one. I thought that was fantastic, and I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't follow up with that. You know, just to see the apocalyptic world view of Justice League, because I think the next one, like Doomsday, was going to come, and like Superman was going to turn bad or something like that. But I really did enjoy the new Superman movie from James Gunn too. I thought that was a really cool take on that. I'm not really I haven't really followed Supergirl that much, but when she came in at the end of Superman, I was like, oh, I like this girl. I like this character. Yeah, she's different. And Jason Momoa as Lobo, I think looks pretty cool. I really like this take on Aquaman as well. So I don't know, there's just like certain aspects of both guys that I really, really like. But as far as like one or the other goes, I like James Gunn. I like James Gunn a lot. I think he's a really talented director, and I like this the story that he brings to a lot of his movies.
Now let me ask you this. As somebody that may or may not, I'm not sure if you do follow the feud, if you will.
Oh yeah, there's a big feud.
Yeah.
Huge feud. Yeah.
And I'm just curious, and I'm not asking you to pick a side. I'm just curious. Do you think there could be two universes that happen at one time, where you see Zack Snyder's Justice League series, and then you see James Gunn, whatever DCU versions he decides to craft off? Or would that be too much Superman, too much Batman, too much for you if you were having multiple characters released in 1 year or every other year or every year?
It sounds like a cool concept, but then when you get like all those superheroes jumbled up like that, I feel like you lose focus on the story aspect of it, you know?
The connective story.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to see David Cornsweet and Robert Pattinson's like characters follow into each other in like one movie. I think that would be pretty cool.
You think they can make that happen with the grittiness of that Batman series?
I don't know. I think they could pull that off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because they had the Penguin that was going on when Superman, right?
Yeah.
Did you see?
Show.
You saw the Penguin?
Yeah, I saw a couple episodes. I really, really liked it.
What are you watching right now?
Right now, I'm actually on Severance on Apple TV. That one's pretty cool.
You are the second person that I've interviewed throughout my time of doing interviews that has talked about Severance.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think that maybe I need to watch this here Severance.
It's pretty cool, man. Friend of mine, she recommended it highly to me. Mira Stewart, she works at ALC Acting Studio. Shout Mira, shout out ALC Studio, everybody over there. Yeah, no, she really loves it, and she put me onto it heavily, and I really enjoy it a lot.
So, what roles have you played thus far?
Recently, I just shot a movie called Palace.
Okay.
It's a horror movie that was shot at Buff State. It's a Buff State student film, TFA. They're great over there, man. I
Yeah.
really, really love what they do. That was my first lead role in quite a while, because usually I play the supporting.
And who do you play in this film?
I play a character named Shannon. So he's basically the head of a demolition team that's set to demolish the Palace Theater, which was, around the 1980s in the story, but it was burned down and has been re-renovated over time, but now it's set for demolition, and I play the head of the people that are going to take down the theater. But as I'm doing that, like my first day there, I get haunted by all the ghosts from the past. And it's a movie that I did with Paige Cummings, who's
I love
fantastic.
Paige
I
Cummings.
know, like, wasn't she in Ombus?
She's the lead of Ombus
Yes,
too.
she is fantastic. Yeah, we did a whole scene together where she was monologuing this crazy, crazy story, man, and she almost made me tear up.
Really?
That's how much of an effect she
Yeah.
had.
Do you do any type of live theater?
I don't. I've always wanted to.
I've always wanted to too, but it's just not a craft I feel like I'm unskilled enough for.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of features and stuff.
You never know till you try, man.
I know.
Don't ever hold yourself back.
We'll see. We'll see. I think I'm at an age now where I'm just kind of like, let's just sit on 2 couches. It's trying to get into this industry and trying to do these things. What is a lesson that you've learned from all of this over your experience?
Just stay consistent. Stay out of the drama. Shut your mouth. Show up. Do the work. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep your
Keep your wits about you.
Yeah.
Read the room.
Yeah.
Read who you're working with. Know who you're working with. Support the people that support you. Support the people that love and care for you. Friends and family along the way. And just, stay consistent with everything, man. You never know what could happen.
Have you ever cried on camera?
No, but I've gotten to that point recently with Paige. She almost made me tear up.
Right.
Pretty badly, yeah.
He shot another good actor. Sean Sanders is who I'm referring to, of course.
Yeah.
I had the opportunity to interview him recently
Yeah.
as well. But he started with me in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
I actually started back in 2003.
Yeah.
I wanted to be an actor.
Wow, you've been doing this for a while, huh?
Yeah. I was in high school when I started.
Really?
Yeah. There was no film community, no community in Buffalo.
Yeah.
When I made the film called Ominous Alien Invasion, I launched this page on Facebook called the Buffalo Film Extras.
Oh, so you started that?
Yes, sir.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, and it has literally grown to have over as of recording this, 14,000 real people.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go onto the page, and I think you're on it, but if you go onto the page, you have to answer a series of questions.
Yes. And
if you don't answer those questions, you don't get approved.
Yes.
So nearly everybody, has been vetted, and I'm sure somebody's gotten through. I'm sure, but but the real authentic people. We've had Sony, we've had Disney in there.
Really?
Not at my seeking them out.
Yeah.
They just found the page, posted, or they had a casting.
They
director.
just see that community.
Yeah.
They just see so many talented people just putting in the work and trying to achieve their dreams.
But what I want to say with that is, I look back at that first film, Ombus, and I look back at a lot of my earlier films, and to see who branched off and how they built the community inside the community, and I know that page, because we were looking for extras for that film, which is why we launched it.
Yeah.
That page started just bringing so much new traffic in for talent and individuals wanting to be in film. So, anyways, I get a little bit of a tangent there, but I will say this: social media is a very important thing
1,000%.
to manage, right?
Yeah.
Out of all the most recent roles that you've played, or all the roles that you've played, what have you found to be the most challenging?
Ooh. Can I include one from an acting class?
Yeah.
So recently, I've been working on this role for film that's, it was a film that somebody from the studio wrote, and I've been working on that recently in class, and it's been pretty difficult because it's a cult leader.
Okay.
I've played cult leaders in the past, but like this is a completely different cult leader.
Oh, you play cult leader. Oh,
Well,
cult
yeah,
leader
I did play a cult leader in the past. Yeah, that like the one that I played in the past like was a very over the top like theatrical cult leader. This one's more grounded and more like I'm trying to be like I want to be like a nice guy, like I'm trying to be a nice guy. I'm caring for this person, but I'm still like doing something very dastardly and I'm very manipulative, So that's been pretty difficult to take on recently, but I've been loving the challenge. And another one that I did a couple years ago, it's called The Last Waltz. That was a Buff State film, and I played a guy who lost his wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
that's always hard to portray.
Yeah, I mean, well, I've never lost a significant other like that. Like my biggest loss in my life was probably my grandmother when I was like 7 years old.
Right.
But that was like a long, long time ago. So I kind of had to like channel that a little bit. But yeah, that was really difficult because I've never had to experience anything like that before.
Well, let me tell you something. As you get older, you will experience it.
Yeah.
Because I've realized as I've gotten older, I've experienced
it. Yeah.
And depending on who it is, it'll hit your hamstrings.
Yeah.
Of course. And you just got to remember that the purpose of life is to die.
Really?
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, what is the yin to the yang?
Yeah.
I'm very spiritual. I'm not so much into religion, but I'm very spiritual. So, yeah, I'm kind of like going again off on a tangent. Look at what you did to me.
Yeah.
You're interviewing me. I'm not interviewing you.
Yeah.
But
I'm taking over.
I'm curious. What is your favorite film?
I have a few favorite films.
You don't have a number one?
I did have a number one for a while, but I've seen so many others that have just like it's hard to pick one.
I'm interested to know what it is, though.
The Shawshank Redemption's always been my number one. Yeah, I love
It's on the wall.
Yeah,
it is on the wall.
There's a lot of great movies on that wall. Yeah, but no, Shawshank was just. I watched that at a very young age, by the way. So that was the one that I watched when.
What age would you say? Like age range?
12.
Okay, 13. So it's something that would be impactful enough for you to recall.
Yeah.
Because at 12, 13, you start to really develop a memory that you can carry with you. You know what I mean?
Well, that was the one film that my English teacher recommended me back in middle school.
Yeah.
And that was the first one that I watched, and then after that I watched Goodfellas, and then I watched Pulp Fiction, and then those became like my top 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite director?
Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin.
Yeah. Are you into Mel Brooks at all?
I haven't watched a lot of his movies, actually.
Young Frankenstein?
Never seen
Blazing Saddles?
No, never seen any of them.
They are on the wall as well, everyone, so don't be afraid. But now we're going to have Eric here catch up on some of the classic Spaceballs.
Call me out now. Yep. I have seen a little bit of Spaceballs.
I do not have Spaceballs on the wall.
Oh, there you go. Get them.
Don't hate me for it. I do not have it on there, but like Young Frankenstein is my all favorite. Are you into musicals at all?
I love musicals.
Do you go to like some of the performing arts in Buffalo? Like not either Shays or
not as often as I would like to, but I definitely would like to start going to a lot of them. The last one that I went to was Les Mis back in 2024 at Shays.
And how was that?
Beautiful. I love Les Mis. Yeah, it was wonderful. And then I went to Hamilton back in like 2022, I want to say.
And your thoughts on Hamilton?
My favorite musical.
Really?
Love Hamilton, yeah.
See, the Book of Mormon is my favorite.
Really?
I think it is.
I haven't seen Book of Mormon
yet. It's coming back to Buffalo.
Okay, I'm going to have to check that out then.
Yeah. If you need a friend to go with, I am very available to go see that.
Right, yeah.
I really enjoyed that movie.
Learn me up on that.
I very much enjoyed that performance, Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Very well written.
Didn't Trey Parker, Matt Stone write that? I love those guys. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of his name at the moment.
Josh Gad?
Yes.
Yeah, that's where he started
you stole it from me. Yes. Yeah, that's where he started from.
Yeah.
And so I just always think it's such a it's just very unique. Anyways.
Yeah.
What do you see being like a role that you're going to try and seek out next?
I feel like the more I chase, the less likely I am to get that. You want
the story, I guess, to develop itself.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put in the work. Obviously.
Of course,
I'm gonna put in the work and stay consistent with everything.
Yeah.
But I'm not more because I feel like if I'm in that chase, I feel like it's more draining on me and my mental health.
Yes.
And I'm big on that. I'm big on mental health. Like I've gone to therapy. Like
There's no shame in therapy.
No shame in therapy at all. Like, because I remember a couple years ago, I was actually severely depressed and almost suicidal.
Do you mind talking about it?
I don't. Yeah, I'd more than happy.
Because I'm sure somebody out there could use your advice to get themselves through a hard time.
Yeah, so a couple years ago, I was on the brink of almost wanting to kill myself, and I just felt very alone in this world. Like, I'm an only child, so I have no brothers, no siblings, no anything. I have, like, close friends of mine that I connect with and talk with on a daily basis. One of those guys is Johnny Foster. I don't know if you know who he is.
Okay, yeah.
You were at the Erica's party back in like Christmas.
I
think. Yeah, but
I'd like to interview him.
Oh my God, he is fantastic, dude. He just actually
he's a personality, man.
No, man,
I love it.
No, he's so grounded. So he's very, very real.
Yeah,
you know, he's as real as you can come, and he's always been there for me. Like, even through those like tough times, like I've been through breakups and everything like that, and he's always like helped me, and he's always been there for me. So I look at that guy like my brother, man. He's incredible.
Yeah, he seems like good people. I didn't get a real chance to like really get to know him.
Yeah,
like you and I talked more, I think, at Erica's.
Yeah, I think
event.
You were leaving as he was entering.
Yes, that's probably how I normally do. You know what I mean?
That's the Adam Steiger method, ladies and gentlemen.
I just, I fade out.
Yeah.
I fade out.
Yeah, but back to the mental health aspect.
Yes,
man.
please.
So so I went. That was actually. So when I was going through those tough times, that was when I was deeply getting into acting, right? And that's actually when ALC first got to Buffalo too. So I was constantly like just trying to be at the studio, just trying to like distract myself from how I was feeling. So that's when I started seeking counseling.
Yeah.
And it's definitely helped me along the way. A good therapist does matter. Like it does take you a while to find that therapist that really you can connect with and you feel like is there for you, but do not ever neglect your mental health, people, like at all. Like you need to find that.
I'm very glad you brought that up because I'm a very, very big supporter of mental health. Yeah. I also go to therapy. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid to share that. You know what? I think therapy. I think everybody could use a form of therapy.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
acting is my therapy. The gym is my therapy.
Yeah.
But therapy is therapy for the brain.
Yeah.
You know, I look at therapy, therapy for the brain, the gym, therapy for my body, acting, therapy for the spirit.
Wow. You're going deep, man. Which kind of like as we can kind of conclude here, we're about to go into the Fast Five, which is a series of 5 questions I give you. And basically you give me one word and answers.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe we already got one of them, but you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it again to test you this time.
Okay. I'm ready.
But let's go into that. Okay, so here they are. They're the Fast Five, and it's just the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah.
And again, I said we already kind of started this one, but we'll have to do it because I already have it on the card. Favorite movie of all time?
Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, dream role?
Superhero.
Okay, one hidden talent?
Singing.
Hardest scene you've ever shot? One word.
Cemetery. Cold. It was in the rain, and it was like really, really cold that day.
And in a cemetery?
In a cemetery.
Okay.
Yep.
Stories to be had. And then last but not least, one word fans would use to describe you. Yeah.
I don't know if I have fans.
You know what? I'm your fan.
Thank you, Adam.
And if you need a word to describe you, I would say ambitious, driven.
Yeah.
Those are the types of words I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of hit the nail right there. Yeah.
So I'm very proud to have like been able to sit with you today, to get to know you a little bit more because we've only talked very short period of time.
Yeah. Even at Erica's event, we had a few libations in us.
Yes, I was going to say. I was trying to figure out how do you say that professionally. And needless to say, I'm glad I got the time to meet you because if I didn't get the time to meet you then, we wouldn't be here today. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I wanted to shake your hand, sir, and I just want to say thank you for everything, for coming out today, and thank you for giving us your opinions on all this great things. Thank you for being a supporter of physical media.
100%, man.
Do you have anything new or anything else coming out? or anything you're working on currently?
I have Palace coming out in May. That's
Right.
premiering at the TFA premiere event on May 11th. If anybody wants to go to that, because that was probably one of the better movies that I've done. The one that one of I'm very very proud of.
Yeah.
Like not to downplay anything I've ever done before in my life. No, absolutely
No,
not.
but we all have a favorite.
That just was such a cool experience because just everybody was just in it, they were locked in, the hair, the makeup departments, the acting, the directing, just everything. I've met a ton of cool people on that set too. So that was just an experience that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
On Instagram.
Instagram's a place to be.
Instagram, IMDb. I'm on Facebook, Actors Access, Backstage. The works.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff.
Again, Eric, I really appreciate you sitting down with me today, and I look forward to working with you sometime because it would be really great to kind of see a craft.
Yeah, come to ALC too. I'm there all the time.
I may do that.
Yeah.
I may do that.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, sir.
Hell yeah.